I was reading this article about water and drinking water and the importance of drinking water and over drinking water, and a lot of it makes sense. I believe you can get certain side effects if you drink too much water, and some of the side effects they mention I have experienced, but nonetheless, I believe that water and drinking lots of water throughout the day, in opposed to soda and those Arizona juices, which are loaded with fructose corn syrup and Kool-Aid. Who drinks Kool-Aid in 2022? What strange person? Be careful what I say. What strange Negro or Dominican or Puerto Rican still drinks Kool-Aid? That was like in 1975. But who drinks that poison? And I bring this up because I personally believe we don't drink enough water. We have a health food store in the neighborhood, and I haven't been there in a while. I get all my herbs and supplements through Amazon these days. I don't go there because it's you pay half the price in compared to the health food stores. And sometimes I buy the raw herbs and I boil them, like milk thistle, licorice root, which you have to be careful with. It could raise your blood pressure. Horsetail, golden seal, which is kind of pricey, but it's a lot cheaper at that particular place. Marshmallow root. I buy a lot of crap there and I boil it and add some other stuff to it, and I use that, as a tea in the morning. But so I'm online, and this girl with her girlfriend, she's in front of me, and she's ordering something. I don't know what she's ordering, but her girlfriend keeps stressing, I gotta have my Pepsi in the morning. I don't care what nobody says. I gotta have my Pepsi in the morning, and I'm looking at the girl and the woman that behind the counter. She's looking, her friend is looking, we're not saying anything. We're just looking at her, and I know we're all thinking the same thing. What a dumb airhead. What a dumb airhead. It's bad enough you're drinking Pepsi, which is loaded with sugar. Most of that is sugar, or half of it is sugar. It's bad enough you're drinking that or any kind of soda, but you're drinking it in the morning, one of the first things that's going into your system in the morning. Now, remember I said earlier that, our bodies are like a car. And if you put bad gas in the car's not going to run efficiently. It'll move, but it's not going to run properly. And that's the same way our bodies, in my opinion, I'm just giving the best analogy as I can. In my opinion, that's the best way our bodies run. If you put crappy food and liquids or hydrate with sugars and fructose corn syrup, you're gonna have issues, and down the line you might even have death. But water is very important. I saw this particular article, and it just crossed my mind. I'm not gonna be long. I'm out of here. It says why drinking water all day is not the best way to stay hydrated. So I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it says staying hydrated is one of the best things you could do for your health. It can help with everything from healthy heart function and skin elasticity to making you happy and more productive, which I agree. When you drink water and you're healthy, you're eating properly, your body functions so much better, and your mood swings are usually positive. Then it says, however, most Americans don't drink enough water, which can lead to chronic dehydration. Dehydration comes with a slew of nasty side effects like mental fog, overeating, and even high stroke risk. I've heard if you drink a lot of water, it helps you lose weight. I've heard that over the years too. But again, it says, however, most Americans don't drink enough water, which can lead to chronic dehydration. Dehydration comes with a slew of nasty side effects like mental fog, overeating, and even high stroke risk. The next paragraph, which I found kind of interesting, I got to look more into it. It says there are many healthy ways to stay hydrated. You can carry a reasonable water bottle with you to sip through the day, which I do. I carry water in the car with me everywhere I go. I try to constantly drink water. And it says to nosh on hydrating food like watermelon, tomatoes, and beans. Most raw fruits and vegetables have high water content. That said, more water isn't necessarily better. Chugging as much water as you can all day is likely not the best or most efficient way to stay hydrated, and it's technically possible to overdo. This is what I found kind of interesting. It says there's no such thing as overhydration. There's no such thing as overhydration that causes some unwanted and potentially dangerous side effects. Overhydrating can result in what's called hyponatremia, where you retain water but flush out necessary electrolytes like sodium and potassium. This causes cells all over the body to swell and can lead to nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and in rare cases, even death. And I've experienced some of this from drinking too much water. The nausea part and dizziness, I have experienced that. It usually goes away after a few minutes, but I definitely can relate to a lot of what's written here. It says endurance athletes such as marathon runners or triathletes are at a higher risk of hyponatremia, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, during competition, as it is common to take large quantities of water while losing sodium and potassium through sweat. Does this mean you shouldn't overdrink? Excuse me. Does this mean you should avoid drinking water to avoid overhydration? No, but it does mean that you may want to be mindful of electrolytes and include other forms of hydration throughout the day. One 2015 study found that other drinks might be more hydrating than water alone in the short term. They found that milk, tea, orange juice are slightly more hydrating, while beer was slightly, but not sufficiently less hydrating. Sufficiently less hydrating. I don't agree with that. I don't know about that. I think water is the best. The reason for this could be due to the role of electrolytes, sodium, calcium, potassium, chloride, phosphate, and magnesium. I don't know. I gotta have to look more into this. He's supposed to be the experts, but I would have to look more into that. I'm not really sold on that. But I do believe you can drink too much water. I do believe that. I definitely believe that. But I would have to look at further into that, But our health is something that should be taken a lot, very much more seriously. We have obesity and heart disease that runs high in the so-called Black and Hispanic community today, extremely high, and that's something that should be taken very seriously. And we have to do better as far as that's concerned. Among Black women, 80% are classified as overweight, and I believe 50% within that 80 is classified as obese. I could be more than 50%. So there's a very serious problem among us, and it's due to diet. If you're eating the same fast foods every day, that can't be healthy, especially how fast foods are prepared. Now, I'm not going to say you're never going to see me eating fast foods, but I do have a limit And I do know when I'm being stupid when it comes to eating fast foods. I wanted you to check this out real quickly. It says fast food equity problem. Black and Hispanic youth unfairly targeted by ads. Unfairly targeted by ads. It's no wonder we're so fat, big, and in some cases nasty. A new report examines fast food marketing practices to children and highlights stark racial and ethnic disparities. See that? Says latest researchers show a growing disparity between ads aimed at marginalized groups versus their white peers. Fast food restaurants such as McDonald's, Domino's, and Taco Bell. Fast food restaurants such as McDonald's, Domino's, and Taco Bell spent over $1.5 billion. On ads, on TV ads in 2019 to target blacks and Hispanic kids. This is why I say Hispanics are Israelites. Hispanics are our brothers. Hispanics are Jews. It didn't say blacks and Chinese. It didn't say blacks and Africans. It didn't say blacks and East Indians. It didn't say blacks and so-called white people. It said blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Hispanics. In 2019, youth viewed 75% more fast food ads than their white peers. While no healthy items were promoted on Spanish language TV. You see that? While no healthy items were promoted on Spanish language TV. So it seems like they're focusing and directing a lot of these ads that destroy, cripple, and even brings death to so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics. Almost all fast food ads promoted full calories. Again, it says almost all fast food ads promoted full calories, adult-sized, regular menu items, not kids' meals, over their more nutritious alternatives. So you get the junk. Despite targeting youth, less than 10% of these ads were broadcast on kids' TVs. Again, it says despite targeting the youth, less than 10% of these ads were broadcast on kids' TV. Over 1/3 of the children and adolescents in the United States eat fast foods. 1/3. Again, it says over 1/3 of the children and adolescents in the United States eat fast food on any given day, according to the National Center for Health Statistics. What's more, the percentage of calories children get from fast foods, which generally consist of foods that include burgers, fries, and pizza, and also increased in the last few years, with 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. now classified as having obesity. You see that? You see that? 1 in 5 kids is recognized as obese. 1 in 5. When I'm on my travels, you should see. I see these kids waddling in front of me, especially the girl children, the young ladies. The majority of them are just waddling with food in their hands, and nothing matters now. The men too, to a degree, but the women. I'm not gonna make it a woman thing though. This is one factor that contributes to this growth is marketing. Mounting research has found a strong link between rates of children obesity and increases in the advertising for less nutritious foods such as fast foods. The most recent fast food fact report published by the Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity at the University of Connecticut is the latest to add to the literature. First look at findings. In 2021, report analyzed data on how 274 fast food restaurants spent their advertising budgets and how much children were exposed to these campaigns. The data also looked further into the 27 top food advertisers and how they targeted young whites, Hispanics, and black consumers under the age of 18. So blacks, whites, and Hispanics under the age of 18. Check this out. According to Nelson's 2019 data, which the study was based on, ad spending for fast food has increased by $400 million since 2012, reaching $5 billion in 2019. These fast food ads campaign were specifically centered to the youth, and black and Hispanic groups were disproportionately targeted. Blacks and Hispanic groups were disproportionately targeted. And you say this country loves you. Blacks and Hispanic groups. Blacks and Hispanic groups. Yet you say that Hispanics are not Israelites. They're not our brothers and sisters. But blacks and Hispanics groups were disproportionately targeted. See that? Targeted. On an annual basis, the research found the following statistics when ads were distributed into age groups. 813 TV ads per year targeted preschoolers ages 2 and 5. 787 ads were aimed at children 6 to 11 years old. 775 ads were directed to teens 12 to 17 years old. This is why I say, we're in the age where information is bliss. It's everywhere. It's on your phones. It's on your laptops and your tablets. And we're at a time where we have to educate ourselves on finances as well as health. On finances as well as health. Because the powers that be, they're not going to educate you. And I'm going to shock you, even in the leadership roles of different groups that are pro-black and Hispanic, they're not going to educate you either in most cases. In most cases. So you have to learn and train your minds to educate yourselves. You really do. Because I don't see things getting better. I see things getting worse. And I see people getting sicker. People they're going to continue to get sick. And it's up to you. It's up to how far you are willing to go to do something for yourselves. It really is. I mean, that's horrible what we just read, but look at it yourself. Look at the McDonald's. When you go into McDonald's, look how our people are just dying to get into a McDonald's to kill themselves with that poison. Check it out next time. Next time you get a chance, check out how eager we are to get a McDonald's and just do the worst for ourselves. You'd be very surprised. You'd be very surprised. And it's sad and it's scary at the same time. It really is. It really makes no sense. But I understand. And a lot of you understand too. Their job is to kill us. That's the job of the enemy, to kill us. And these things you have to take this into your mindset for the reality that we're living. You have to take this reality in your minds. Let me see if I get that up. You have to forgive me. It's very difficult to read this. I'm trying a new program. Well, I'm learning to navigate through a program, so it's very difficult to see. But Psalms 83 verse 2 says, "For lo, thy enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." So the enemy has lifted up the head in pride. They think, the enemy, mainly the heathens, mainly the so-called white man, Esau, he thinks he's going to offset the Most High's program and change prophecy and continue to reign and do the things he's doing. This is how he thinks. This is how they think. And the third verse says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people." Who are the Most High's people? Is it everybody? The Most High created everybody, but the Most High has a chosen people. And here the Most High says, they, the enemy, the heathen, have taken crafty counsel against the Most High's people and have consulted against thy hidden ones. So they have had meetings and seminars and get-togethers and powwows, meaning they have consulted against the Most High's hidden ones. So we're the hidden ones that are hidden in the Most High's protection, His spirituality, His bosom. We're the hidden ones that the Most High loves, and at the same time the Most High punished for our disobedience toward Him. Nonetheless, the Most High still loves and protects His chosen people. That's you, so-called blacks and Hispanics. I'm including Hispanics in here. This is why you notice the attacks are mainly on Hispanics. You have many groups and nationalities that come to this country, but why are Hispanics always joined at the hips of so-called black men and women and children? Because we are one people. We're the same people, and we're special people. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation." See that? And it's not just through food, it's through drugs. It's through things sprayed in the air. I got to be careful what I say. You know what the other thing I want to say? You know the other thing I want to say. But there's a plan to eradicate you so-called blacks and Hispanics. There's a plan. And they have said, "Let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel," which consists of you so-called blacks and Hispanics, "that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." See that? And that's the game. That's the end game. That's the plan. That the name of Israel would be no more in remembrance. That's the end game. That's what's wanted. That's what's needed for them. "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacle of Edom and Ishmael and Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebel and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah." So it's naming a few of the nationalities that are against us and that want to destroy us. The main two I'm focused on are these two, Edom and Ishmael. The tabernacle or the house or the people of Edom and Ishmael, so-called Arabs. Those are the main culprits, or in my opinion, two of the biggest groups with power that are in the mindset of what we read in the third verse. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and have consulted against the children, against thy hidden ones. 4th verse says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. But is that going to play out? No, we know from Scripture that could never be, and that's just not going to happen. The Most High said that we would be here forever. Forever. But there's just something for me to you, and something on a brother's mind, and something for you to think about. But I want to say this: start taking care of yourselves. It's never too late. A lot of you have let yourself go, and you're under the mindset of it's too late. I'm already this big. I'm already this out of shape. It's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late to be in the best of health. Start now. Eat differently. Drink clean water, healthy water. Get into herbs and studying. There's plenty of people on Facebook and YouTube that have classes and seminars and podcasts on how to eat and drink better for life. There's plenty of people around you that you may know. Get into some type of physical activity, whether it's walking, jogging, or the gym. In other words, just clean yourselves up, man, because there's a plan to destroy us. And a lot of those plans are being executed in the very food and drink that we consume every day. Be mindful of that and grow in the Most High. I'm out.